In this video we are going to look at a few Documentum object types which will be of special interest to an administrator, and I would say an administrator who is very new to the Documentum environment. He or she must be aware of these object types, what they do, and how to query them. So as usual, I'm in the DA screen and I go to tools and DQL editor. The first two types of two object types that we are going to run a query for here is dm underscore file store and dm underscore location, and a join query for both of them. Say I type in select star from dm underscore file store. Now this is going to return a result for the present file stores within the doc base. Say file store 01, file store 02, thumbnail storage, streaming store, and amongst the other attributes we have the root for that, that is storage 01, file store 02, location, thumbnail storage 01, streaming storage 01. Now just note, this is the root attribute within dm underscore file store object type. Now we are going to check dm underscore location. Say I said select star from dm underscore location, execute it. Here the object name is storage01. You might recall this object name of dm underscore location object type refers to the one root attribute of dm underscore file store type, and we have an attribute here called say file system path. The file system path corresponds to the storage location where the actual file resides. Say content storage 01 corresponds to storage 01, and when we map to dm underscore file store, it's file store 01. So let us try to write a query that will retrieve the data from both the object types. So I'll put it as select f dot name comma l dot object underscore name comma l dot file system path from dm underscore file store f dm underscore. See here we are taking up both the object types dm underscore file store represented by NL as f dm underscore location represented by L, and the conditional clause here is L dot object name, that is the object name which maps to the root attribute of dm underscore file store, as we saw, equals to f dot root. F is represented by your dm underscore file store. So let's run this query, and here you see the result is from both the object types or both the tables. The name, this is from dm underscore file store, and these two, object name and file system path, are from dm underscore location. So file store 01 having root at storage 01 and file system path at content storage 01. Okay, then file store 02 having a location file store 0 location and the file system path as system C drive Documentum data. Now as an administrator you must know about what file stores are in place in your environment so that you can manage them well. Then next comes the object type dm underscore job and dm underscore method. Now when I say dm underscore job and dm underscore method, they represent a job object and a method object. A method may be a dm basic doc basic method, or it may be a java method you write and deploy it in your environment. Now you associate it with a job in order to schedule its run, or say you want to run it at a specific interval of time, you write the method associated with a job. Now we are going to see various attributes that are part of dm underscore job and method. So let me write the simple query: select star from dm underscore job. Select star from dm underscore job. Here the object dm underscore state of doc base, audit management, queue management, these are all different jobs of type dm underscore job, and they represent the corresponding method name dm underscore state of dogbase or dm underscore queue management. That means these are the methods that are associated with a job, corresponding job, which runs at a specific interval of time. The specific start date and expiration date also mentioned here, with run interval and run mode and other details. Now say if I run dm underscore method, select start from dm underscore method, it will find out all the methods uh, with object underscore name as the attribute, and all the methods here, uh, and you can see here method type as Java. Here it says method type is Java or method type is DM basic. Now as an administrator you must be aware of what methods you have that are running in Java, what methods you have that are running in DM basic. Sometimes you may need to know how many methods you have running in Java, how many methods running in DM basic. So no doubt you can find it in document of administrator in user interface, but still this is also an easier method using the DQL. So let's write a query for that. Again select, so it's represented by method type. Method type equals to Java or DM basic. From DM underscore method, where method type equals to Java. So these are the methods. Say I make it 100 and we have almost one full page of listing of methods that are Java methods. So when I say select object underscore name method underscore type from dm underscore method, where method underscore type equals to Java, so the attribute method underscore type equals to, it may be Java or DM basic. In that case, when I use the conditional clause to retrieve only Java methods, it lists me here as it is. Say I'll try to find out how many methods are there which are of type DM basic. So say select count star from dm underscore method, where method type equals to dm basic. Now here I used a count function to find the number of methods which are of type dm basic, and I found 53. Now I can replace this dm basic with Java. I have 36. So this is how you calculate some information about different methods running and how they are associated with different jobs. Let's revisit the query for dm underscore job. Select okay, we have the job names. Okay, here there is something called method trace level. Okay, this is the trace level, means what is the trace level you have set for the method. Say you want to run a specific kind of report and you want some kind of information after the method runs. So you set the trace level to a particular number, and it will accordingly generate the report. So you as an administrator you must be aware of the trace level, because say for a number of methods, unless and until it's required to set the trace level, generally it will be set to 0, and if it's at some specific condition you set it to some number and then bring it back to 0, because it might affect the performance of the application as well. So as an administrator you may be interested to know how many methods are there with some trace level, or where the trace level is not 0. Now there may be three other types of objects that are specific to the setup of Documentum. Say dm underscore dogbase underscore config, dm underscore server underscore config, and dm underscore federation. Now for every dog base and every server content server configuration, there will be object types dm underscore dog base underscore config that will talk about information on the specific dog base, and server config that will talk about the content server installation or how the server is configured. dm underscore federation will come into picture if your environment is a federated environment, that is you have one governing dog base and you have member dog bases. Now just let's run a simple query from each of the object types. So let's start from dm underscore dog base underscore config. Now here the object name is dev. This is the dog base name. What is the purpose? I have set it up development purpose. Owner name is dev, owner permission. Then you have mac access protocol, index store, and other attributes as you can see here. Okay, the object type is again dm underscore dog base config, when it was created and when it was last modified. So it talks about it gives you information about specific dog base called dev. Now say I'll make it dm underscore server underscore config. Now this is going to talk about the server configuration. Server configuration for this dog base. ACL domain is in the dev, that is within the dog base. Now concurrent sessions, it allows 100 concurrent sessions. Say other attributes like log location, temp location, and this is file store 01, and the agent launcher is as agent execute method. Web server location is within the home, that is this host name. Okay, so some other like full text location is in fast, and the object type is server config, and it was created in so and so date and modified in so and so date. Now here in this case, let me go back. Here this is the dev dog base, and you say this is a federated dog base. It says the federation name itself as federation, and if we go and see the basic configuration for this federations, so we have one federation, that is federation, and view properties. Okay, this federation name is federation and it has members. We have another dog base called test. So test dog base is a member dog base of the governing dog base federation. So if I go back to DQL, I go back to the DQL editor and type, so every federation is represented by the object type dm underscore federation. So let's start from dm underscore. Okay, so the object name is federation. This object name could have been something else. This is what I have chosen when creating the federation. And then when I marked the dev dog base as the governing dog base and created a federation. Okay, and the ACL domain is again dev, object type is this, and when it was created. So dm underscore federation will be a very handy query you can run on dm underscore federation to find out who are the member dog bases and other details. So this is what we discussed about dm underscore file store, dm underscore location, dm underscore job, dm underscore method, dog base configuration, server configuration, and federation object. In our next session we'll come across, we'll just explore few more object types that will be of interest to the administrator. Of course we'll discuss at the entry level, then to each and everything we'll go in a detailed manner. Thank you.